Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Before we begin, let's just do this right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone who's here. New subscribers, my babies, the crew. Shout out to the crew that's in the building. Thank y'all for coming back. I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday. Definitely the day and the time got to me, but shout out to the crew. Shout out to all you all, the love this whole entire weekend, all of that good stuff. I felt it. And we are back to cover some news, get into some interesting topics. So I hope you enjoy the ride today. We got a lot of different things to jump into. I'm mixing local news and hot topics. So shout out to the crew. Thank y'all for being here. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way in. And shout out to the members and the moderators. Thank y'all for always being here to support me. I appreciate it day in and day out. Now, also, I want to make sure that you also know that today some stories and some topics might be a little bit triggering. So if that is the case, I'll give you a heads up and tell you to come back in like 5 or 10 minutes. But we're going to get through a lot of different topics here. Again, if you have not hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button for me. All likes matter over here, even yours right now. Like as you enter the room, go ahead and hit that like. In addition to that, if you want to subscribe to the channel, please consider subscribing today. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when all the videos drop, whether it's a live stream, upload, or a members only. And if you want to show some love, you can always do so by sending Cash App to $Roman L. Jackson. All love is appreciated. So shout out to the crew. I see y'all loading up in the chat. What's popping? Tanya McNeil, Fates, Coco, Shay Beezy, Bubbles, Very Carey, Darlin Tiana, Hot Spicy Tea. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, and welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be here today. Woo! It's been a hell of a week already, but we are here. What is today? Today is the 15th. This is like the third to last week in the month of November. But we're going to get through it. So I got an interesting show today. We're going to kick the show off with a couple of viral videos that have hit the web over the last couple of days that have caused some controversy. And we're going to talk about that Mexico story. You guys remember when we were talking about it on Sunday and I was like, I got to dig. Well, I did do some digging. And it's so crazy because on that same day, another black person was mysteriously killed during that same time frame down there during the Day of the Dead. And I don't understand why they aren't connecting any of these, but they're isolating them all. One is carbon monoxide, the other one is homicide pending investigation. So we're going to explore that and see if we see any common, anything that might be similar. We're going to get into Wendy Williams. I told you when I see Wendy Williams, I'm always going to report about her. I posted a picture on my community wall of Bhad Bhabie, Bhad Bhabie, whatever her damn name is, and now she's black all of a sudden. And baby, they fucked her up all night once that picture came out. So bad that she went and deleted all her pictures off Twitter. She deleted all her Instagram stories. And my thing is, girl, what you think? We didn't see you beforehand, so we're gonna explore that. We're gonna get into Megan, and then we're gonna end on this pastor Dwayne Dawkins. He's finally came out and talked about what happened with his sneaky link, like what went down. And I think it's so interesting. I think it's good to hear him talk about this because for me, I already know. But for a lot of folks, they may not understand the psyche of someone who deals with this kind of, some may say double lifestyle, but kind of sexual, appetite, So we're gonna dive into all of those good things. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to the crew. Thank y'all for being here this morning. Tanya, what's up? What's up, Bates? What's up, Coco? Shay Beezy, what up? What up? Good morning, Carrie. Hot spicy tea. Hey, Sticks girl, what's going on? What's up, Brick girl? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, now before I jump into the hot topics, I do want to, for the sake of anybody who's new and may not know how we do things over here, in the castle. I save most of like my beef sector commentary or any outside commentary to my Sundays wake and breathe. So I don't have anything. I don't have any opinions. I don't. I'm fine. Everything's okay. I did get a couple emails and people. Now what's interesting is people send you stuff for you to provoke you, and no, you don't have to send me nothing. I'm all good. But we can talk about it on Sunday. So when Sunday's live come, if there's anything you want to talk about or say anything like Roman, did you blah blah blah, we can do that on Sunday. But today we're just gonna strictly talk about local news and hot topics. So I didn't want anyone to feel led on or anything like that. Like, damn, he ain't getting into the no. Not important, not that important. I told you. I'm gonna be the worst player in the sector because it's gonna be a once a week thing. I make some good tea, y'all. Y'all see how many teas I put? Peppermint tea. I put green tea, regular tea. I'm just teed down with honey, sugar, lemon, and I got a little mint in there just to keep my throat moist. All right, y'all. Let's get into this. So, first story I want to talk about is Young Miami's baby dad, 808 Mafia, who's also Southside. He uploaded a video to his Instagram and it just went viral. Now let's talk about this video. So he has a son, has a young son, and he calls his young son King, and he wants to raise him to be a great man, a proud black man. And I'm all for that. I love the fact that he led this story with that. And so he said his son comes to him and says that, Dad, I got a C and I just don't understand why I keep getting C's. I think my teacher might be racist. Now, a lot of times students may say that, kids may see that, black kids may say that, we may say that just as a quick, you know, you might be racist. But the son even went a step further, has provided video footage to the father of his teacher's alleged racism. Now, I was shocked by how comfortable this teacher felt saying these things in front of not only the black students, but these white students too. I'm like, wow, you don't even understand how quickly you can rub off on them. You're just empowering them in their seats. Like, I mean, he went along the lines of saying, my race is superior. Bitch, where? And so he got suspended and all that good stuff, but it took this video to sort of prove or substantiate the son's claims that, look, I'm not getting a C just because I'm getting a C. It's something really going on here. So check out this clip. Now, again, I told you some stuff may provoke you all, and I'm not trying to provoke you all. This is to inform, share, and for us to discuss this. So get into this clip. Now, yeah, just get into this clip. I already gave you your sense.
Deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Oh,
Wait, no, let me finish. Let me finish.
so white is better than all.
No, let me finish. Let me
Go
finish.
ahead.
I think everybody thinks that. They're just not honest about
Hey,
it.
I'm not racist though. I like all types of kinds.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think
Wait,
that.
so you said you are what? You are
You
racist?
saying you're like
You're
I think
racist?
everybody's a racist at that level.
No, you said you are racist. Correct?
I did. Yeah, I'm
Say
trying to
it.
be
Yes,
honest.
I am racist.
No, I'm not saying it again. I've said it enough.
So you're
I
racist.
think I slightly told you to stop speaking.
Put your phone up.
I respected you.
I'm
I
putting the
actually
phone up.
respected you for a while, but like
I'm putting the
now
phone up.
I don't even got no more respect for you.
Put it up.
Yeah, for real. I don't think I got respect for him no more, bro.
You know, you should have more respect. 'Cause I'm deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Oh,
Wait, no, let me
Hey,
finish.
look.
Let me finish.
hey, look.
So white is better than all.
No, let me finish. Let me
Go
finish.
ahead.
Hey,
I think everybody thinks that. They're just not honest about
hey,
it.
I'm not racist though. I like all types of kinds.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think
Wait,
that.
so you said you are what? You are
You
racist?
saying you're like
You're
I think
racist?
everybody's a racist at that level.
No, you said you are racist. Correct?
I did. I did. Yeah, I'm
Say
trying to
it.
be
Yes,
honest.
I am racist.
No, I'm not saying it again. I've said it enough.
So you're
I
racist.
think I slightly told you to stop speaking.
Put your phone up.
I respected you.
I'm
I
putting the
actually
phone up.
respected you for a while, but like
I'm putting the
now
phone up.
I don't even got no more.
So now we have another incident of a recorded statement by an officer of authority in front of children. And the school district comes out, oh, we don't condone this behavior, blah, blah, blah. This is not somebody that represents our district. And it's Texas. The school district is called Fluggerville, Pfluggerville, Fluggerville. And so the school district comes out and say, we're not tolerating this. The man has been placed on an administrative leave while Human Resources conducts an investigation. Now, here's my thing. What the fuck is an administrative leave? That doesn't hurt anyone. This is the union protection right here, immediately pending an investigation. So he is out collecting a check while they're investigating what's going on. I guarantee you they'll pay this man out this school year. And if he's near a retirement, they're not going to fuck with his retirement. I don't see the school district trying to fight that case with the union rep. To deem him racist in their context, they're going to need more proof than just this. This just proves he's not worthy of being a teacher. You definitely do not meet the criteria of having the mental capacity to explain how you feel to students of that age. So you don't need to be in the classroom. First of all, got that, great. But in addition to that, you definitely need to be fired. You need your career. It needs to be sustaining. But that's the problem. They're going to need to have a credible amount of evidence to prove that not just this instance, it's multiple instances. And this is why I say people need to record shit, write it down, even if it was just a in jest comment like, I know you're kind, don't do that. What you say again now? It's 7:47 a.m. My who don't do that? Because all this shit come back into play. It all comes back into play. And it's sad that the little boy was the most well thought, well spoken out the bunch. Well, I'm not racist. I like all people. So you're saying you're a racist? Well, I'm not saying that, but I think I'm ethnocentric. I think my race is the superior. Is that something you should be saying to these little kids in school and then being placed on administrative leave? I guarantee you that principal is white. I don't think a black principal would feel that way. Thank you. I think it's a Randall. Wouldn't feel that way. Shout out to the crew. I hope y'all hit that like button. Good morning. Good morning. We just getting started. And we are talking about teachers. This teacher in Texas, Fluggerville. Apparently 808 Mafia. This is his son, by the way, enrolled in this school district. Had been complaining to his dad, like, "Yo, Dad, I don't understand what's going on. Why I'm getting C's?" And he told his dad instantly, "I think he's racist." Well, the father, he ain't racist, blah, blah, blah. But the son decided to record on his own. Smartass brought the video footage home and said, Dad, look, Dad posted. Now, mind you, what they don't want to report is Southside met with them before posting this. So he posted this. They had started launching an investigation already, and then he decided to post this. Now, one could say this is done in clout because there are moments where people, the situation is going to get dealt with, and I'm just going to put it out there for clout. But this the kind of clout I want to see. Yeah, put it out there. Go ahead, get the clout. I'm down for it. This the kind of clout I'm down for. That other shit, yeah. Young Miami posting modeling pictures at Takeoff funeral. What the fuck was that shit? I wanted to talk about that today, but I said no. If I ain't gonna talk about the funeral, I ain't gonna talk about because I don't want to talk about the funeral. I don't want to talk about the funeral. I damn sure ain't gonna talk about her posting these cat ass spandex outfits at a funeral. Tacky, yacky, yacky. But that's not the clout. This was the clout. So he's on administrative leave, pending this investigation. Like I said, I don't see this man being targeted. I see him getting a smooth process out the door. I definitely see that. So shout out to him for bringing that to the forefront. We definitely need to see that. Good morning, Miss Gerald. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, not my state. Texas, baby. Texas, no problem. Texas don't play. This is crazy. Hey, you still get paid on administrative leave. Absolutely. Yep, I do believe there are more racist teachers than people would like to admit. I am not surprised. He was so blatantly bold and so calm about it. Like these weren't smart black kids. Like clearly, shout out to our babies again. Clearly, what are you talking about? I could see me sitting there like telling my aunt, yeah, today in class, I was told that being ethnocentric means that the white race is superior. Is that true? She'd have been in her car quickly, same house clothes on, driving up there. She's done it before. I've came home and told her stories about my teachers. She took her ass up there. So yeah, it's nothing. And that's I'm glad he did. That's the kind of clout we need. Nothing. They will simply move him to another campus if anything. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. Good morning, Kurt Vixen. Thank you for coming through. In northern states, there's a teachers union and you can't just fire a teacher at will. And there you go. That's almost every fucking where. I remember when I was working in Chicago at a school, and it was damn near you had to find blood to get some. There were so many levels of sanctions that had to be processed before you can get somebody out. A warning, a written warning, a verbal warning, a conference warning. Then you get your first suspension. Then you get it's like, okay. Good morning, Red Wings Hockey. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. I'm you in the clouds, Carrie. All right, shout out to Carrie. Good morning. You were speaking patois the other day on your channel, and I was just going in. I was going in. I was like, you better speak it. Yes. It sounds so good. Thinking your race is superior shouldn't equate to hating others. To me, it is pride in who and what you represent. And my thing is, because that could be even said about a black person sitting in that same position around white and black students. It wouldn't be right for that black person either to sit there and say, I'm ethnocentric and I think my black race is superior than yours. If you feel that way, that's one thing. To say it in front of these impressionable children, it lets me know that your mental wherewithal in leading and being a teacher is not there. What else have you said? It just goes, it's a slippery slope. Okay, so what else have you said? Y'all should be recording this man all the time. If he goes back into the classroom, he needs supervision. The fuck? Multiple supervision. Might need a teacher's aide, associate teacher aide. That was a mess. Very tacky. Completely. Good morning, T. Trisha One. Good morning. Thankfully, the students save other students. You saw the white students were like, whoa, don't get me in that shit, man. I hear that Texas is an at-will state. Oh, it is. Oh, that's good to know. Yes, teachers unions don't play. Oh, that's good to know if they're an at-will state. He out. Now, if y'all thought that was something, right, we're going to get into our next story. And I'm working on this little video clip that shuffles me to the next story. It makes it a nice transition. I just wanted to mention that. So this next story is even odd. So we have this young black girl who is sort of like this big wig. Okay, she's like sort of this big wig in the community because she's known for her interest in catching bugs and flies and stuff. So she's a 9-year-old girl. And so she's, they record articles on her, all kind of shit. School be going up for her and everything. Now, she's 9. I say she's 9 for a reason. Remember that she's 9 years old. She's 9 years old. She's outside her house, right? She's outside her house within her vicinity catching these bugs off of the damn trees and stuff. And so it's like an amazing thing because everyone's saying like, girl, you about to get a job from EPA off of this, just this exposure alone. Well, her white neighbor from across the street of 8 years. So she's 9. He's been their neighbor for 8 years, meaning he knows she lives there. He knows that she's a child there. There's some level of familiarity. Well, he decides to call the police on this girl because he thought she was doing something suspicious. Get into this shit. I was like, wait, why are we doing this again? So here's, white, here we go. Sorry. So this politician calls the police on this black girl for catching lantern flies. Now it was so terrifying to the girl. I'm gonna play a clip, but I want to explain this the Roman way. So it was so terrifying to this girl. Imagine, like her mother said, we're gonna watch that. Her mother said she already knows about police brutality. She sees it. She watched the news. We talk about it. So when she saw the police car riding up on her with the sirens as she's standing at the tree. Do I got the picture of her standing at the tree? This is her standing at the tree, y'all. Do you see that? Who in their motherfucking right mind calling a police on a girl standing at the tree like that? 9 years old. Who? So she's standing there doing that, and the police roll up on her. Woo, woo. And she was so terrified and traumatized. And as little kids do, they start to grabbing their fingers and cringing up like, I don't know. I don't. All of that came out. Then they finally resolved the situation because their mom came out there to let them know, like, luckily daddy wasn't home because it would have been a whole different thing. Mom, goes out and then they go their separate ways. Well, he works on the council city. So this is the only way this went viral because we would have never known about this shit. So he works on the council of the city, right? And this is coming to us out of New Jersey. So he's on the Republican Party. And he works on their council city. So he goes up there during community hour. The mom, the daughter, they went up there to address this motherfucker. They had to give him a piece of their mind. And I said, I'm here for you and with you. Now, here's the guy. I just want to give you a picture of him. Terrifying old man and this little young girl. So the girl's sister first, because the little girl can't really she's terrified. So the girl's sister first shares her story. And then the mom comes and cleans the shit up. So after this, let me play it for you because it don't stop there. So here's the speech that they gave at that council city meeting. Shout out to our young men and our young women, our baby, our kids standing up. That's why I love with these stories today. First story, we got the young boy saving the school from a racist teacher. Now we got this young girl saving her community, her other black fellow children from all that other bullshit. Check this out. Go ahead, girl. Shout out to you.
Them in school. My sister was doing some research on them after seeing them in our local park and hearing about them in school. While researching them, she realized there's a non-toxic solution you can make at home that can effectively kill the spotted lantern bug. She proceeded to make a mixture which was made up of water, apple cider vinegar, and a little Dawn dish soap. She then discovered multiple infested trees on our street and decided to give the solution a try by spraying them on the trees and the actual bug. She was not only doing something amazing for our environment, she was doing something that made her feel like a hero. Our neighbor across the street saw my sister spraying the trees with the solution and didn't know what she was doing. Usually, if you see a child that you know doing something that might not be good, you walk up to them or ask their parents to tell them and let them know what's going on. First of all, she wasn't on his property. And second of all, he knows us. We're his neighbor, and it's not like there's numerous other Black families on our street. It's not only racist what he did, but it was extremely traumatic for my sister. She sees all these other Black children and adults on the news being killed by police officers for doing nothing wrong. So when this call rolled up beside her, she was immediately frightened because she did nothing wrong. No kid should have to be stared in their own town on their own street. To my sister was extremely offensive, traumatic, and scarring towards my family. I can confidently assure you guys she will never forget this.
Our neighbor called the police and reported there's a little Black woman walking, spraying stuff on the sidewalks and trees. I don't know what the hell she's doing. It scares me though, and included that she was wearing a hoodie. It is sickening and scary to hear my neighbor use triggering words that have resulted in the death of too many Black and brown children and adults at the hand of the police.
How many lanternflies do you think you captured or killed? Did you count them at all? No, a lot, I think. And you used vinegar and apple cider vinegar and soap? Soap. And where did you find that out? Where did you find the recipe? On TikTok.
Thank you both for stepping up here. I know this is a difficult issue for many. I just want you to both know you have governing body support we can do to help make you feel comfortable.
So after that, do you know what this man decides to do? Oh, baby, he launches a lawsuit towards the family saying that they are instituting a defamation of his character. I said, wait a minute. So that's what we're going to start doing now? For your behavior and what you exhibited, you want to go ahead and sue for defamation of character. No, sir. The one who should be suing for defamation of character, emotional distress, trauma, all of that should be the mother. Are you kidding me? So I haven't seen whether she's countersued or anything, but listen, ma'am, get you a good-ass attorney. A good-ass attorney will look at your case and say, yeah, I got something to gain out of this. No shade, no tea. But you ain't got to take this. Complete harassment from the minute he made the phone call, given the history of him being your neighbor, the proximity to your house. The man didn't live down the street, y'all. He lived across the fucking street. And you see her doing this? And she was doing it so much, y'all. I look at this shit. The girl is in the community. She's in their whole community newspaper for catching bugs and flies. This is a community call where a girl aims to save trees from spotted lantern fly. October 28th. That's her. That's where I got the picture from. Her mother says she usually spends 30 to 45 minutes every afternoon after school slaying spotted lantern flies. If she's doing that every afternoon and you stay across the street, you tell me, were you just acting out of pure suspicion at this little girl, or were you on some bullshit? Everything is smelling like bullshit. Get out of here with that. And yes, she's traumatized. Y'all can look in the video and see the girl traumatized. She didn't even want to answer questions. And I could tell because at 9 years old, they are definitely speaking and answering questions. This girl was so timid, nervous, scared, shy. It's so sickening. And he want to play a defamation lawsuit. They want to throw it around when they think you ain't got money to defend themselves. You just don't know. You be talking with the wrong one. Seriously, though. Thankfully, the student saved other students. Yes, he did. He really did. That little man. Yes, teacher unions don't play. He knew he was spewing hate, especially when he went to everyone as racist. Good morning, Kingsmina. Good morning. Good morning. Unions are the people who fought for you to have weekends off, holidays paid, vacation time, medical benefits. Do you think the man just gave those benefits for free? Absolutely not. But I do think that sometimes unions protect bad behavior, and it's sort of hard to get rid of it. Get rid of that bad behavior because there's so many things in play. The benefits are wonderful for those who are in a union, but I think on the flip side of that, I just think that it protects a lot of people that, especially with the grandfather clause, the years of service, longevity, all of those things. Sometimes you got, doing something suspicious to a tree. Lord help us. Connect with Knockout Media for tips. Oh, are they on YouTube? Thank you. Good morning, Leslie. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the members. So hard to listen to these things. I know. Carrie, I know. I just had to put it out there. Wow. Good morning. Good morning. DKL, what up? What up, DKL? What up? Good morning to you. Absolutely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Little black woman. They always take the innocence from our children and try to make them villains. If that was a 22-year-old Ken, he would have called a kid. Absolutely. With a hoodie on. With a hoodie on. Did y'all see the hoodie she had on? I mean, what are we doing? I'm in complete awe. Those children were very articulate and showed bravery as well. It's talent. Absolutely. Yes, and IG. Okay. Unions are like people. They can do good and they can do bad. I belong to one and I'm grateful for them. But the word is always move with eyes wide open. I agree. I remember my time in Chicago in the union, paying that out of my check each time. All right, y'all. So that was Bobby Wilson. Shout out to Bobby Wilson for being a brave young girl and bringing this type of stuff to light and having the courage to go up in front of the councilman, his members, and tell your story. That's what we need people to do. Now let's move on to this Mexico City Airbnb. So we talked about it on Sunday, and I said, well, let me go see what's going on here. So most of y'all know the story. There's not, there's not too much of the facts that if you don't know, I can, do a real quick run through. there was these three friends hailing from the Virginia area, Virginia Beach, area. A male, two males and one female. And they all were going to Mexico City for the, what is it called? Dios of Dead. I know it stands for Day of the Dead. And so they went there on Friday and they were planning to stay there for the weekend and return. And so Friday, they get there, they arrive, they check in, they're all good. But that Saturday morning at 4:47 a.m., the girl is texting her boyfriend. And the boyfriend is texting her, and she's like, I don't feel good. I feel like somebody slipped something in my drink. And the boyfriend's like, what? What's going on? So later he FaceTimes her and he's like, she looks distressed. And so he texted her a little bit and she didn't respond. And so that's when he got in contact with the Airbnb host later that evening. Mind you, during that same time frame, the security guards at this Airbnb facility, they had smelled this strong smell of gasoline. So they decided to contact local authorities for more support. They came, they opened the door, they found these three bodies unconscious. Now, the Airbnb host replied to him and said, hey, they've been found unconscious. So the brother then, it tips them off. So it's all, we're all speculating what happened, what went on. What allegedly occurred was when one of the guys got into the shower that Saturday, because they opened the investigation on that Sunday. When one of them got into the shower, it tripped the hot water heater in a negative way where it caused more gas to come out than usual. Now, yeah, it could be, could not be. I don't really know, because there is another instance where this has happened. This sort of situation has happened. Now, these are the three individuals. Here's the female, here's the two males. Very, very sad stories. I read their stories and stuff around them, and it's so sad. So I looked further to see if there was any more cases like this. Was this isolated? What I did find was that there are instances where Americans are being found dead at some of these resort locations due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, that could very much so be the case here, right? And so what Airbnb is doing, they've decided that they're going to institute this whole check policy requirement of upgrading, installing, and monitoring their carbon monoxide detectors before a guest arrives and after a guest leave. Great. Afterwards, that sounds wonderful. Why you got to check for every fucking thing else? I mean, that's going to be another fee on y'all. Check, watch. It'll be another fee. But here's where things got interesting for Roman. Okay, for Roman, this is why I be like, I don't be wanting to look in these stores. So I dig and dig and dig until I be looking at other shit. So that same fucking weekend, there was a black girl traveling for a similar type of trip, and she was murdered. I said, wait a minute. Wait, what happened? So apparently this girl, we're going to watch the clip of this. This girl, she was going down there to travel for the weekend to meet friends. She's from the Charlotte area. And for the same kind of trip, I was like, damn, was she going to meet the same people? What the fuck? So apparently that Friday night, she had talked to her mom, and she was telling her mom that I was feeling a little woozy, feeling out of it. And so that was the last communication. When they got the autopsy report back for this girl, it wasn't anything about carbon monoxide poison. This woman had crushed bones, a pelvic, everything was crushed. So that is what really triggered me into saying, okay, Mexico, y'all might have something else going on here. Now, I went to Reddit Mexico City murders. If anyone is interested in doing some other additional research, if you go to Reddit, type in Google Reddit Mexico City murders, baby, shit comes up for days. So there's been a lot of shit dating back to 2002. I was scrolling. But this was the most recent one that caught my eye. So y'all get into this little clip about what is going on with this girl and what happened during that same weekend. These other folks were found dead.
A mystery in Mexico knows is Charlotte family tries to found up dead.
Well, conflicting reports now have them now wondering what really happened at a villa in Cabo San Lucas. Morgan Francis tonight spoke to the family and joins us now here in the studio. So Morgan, when did all this happen?
Alicia, this happened about 2 weeks ago. Shanquilla Robinson went to Mexico with her friends. She arrived early on Friday the 28th, and her family says the next morning she was dead.
It was supposed to be a fun, long weekend for 25-year-old Shanquilla Robinson and her group of friends who went to Cabo to celebrate one of their birthdays.
She told me they had a chef. They was getting ready to eat. They was eating tacos, something, salad or something they was eating. And I said, well, okay, I love you. Have a good night. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I never talked to my child again. And she never made it back home.
Robinson's mom, Salamandra, says within 24 hours of her daughter's arrival, she was dead. Figuring out how or why has only added to the family's nightmare. It started with a frantic call from Robinson's friends.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse. Each one of the people that was there with her was telling different stories.
It's when the family made calls to the FBI and Mexican authorities that they learned of another potential cause of death.
The autopsy came back. They said it didn't have anything to do with alcohol. Say that she had been, she had a broken neck and her spine in the back was cracked. She had been beaten.
Salamandra says the entire group came back from Mexico, leaving her daughter's body there. Nearly 2 weeks and $6,000 later, her body is back home. But answers have been hard to come by.
You know, I know that's not going to bring my child back, but I want something done about it.
Queen City News has spoken with officials at the U.S. State Department in Mexico who refused the claim that Robin murdered. There was no clear evidence of foul play. Here in Charlotte, her family refuses to believe their daughter's death was an accident, and they vow to find the truth of what happened that night in Cabo.
She had a heart of gold. She loved everybody, and pretty much everybody loved her.
An official with the State Department told us they're helping the family.
I don't know what's going on in Mexico, but they definitely got a lot going on. And then when you look at all these cases, it's hard to get information from the Mexico State Department. Even with the 3 Americans, the U.S. Are saying to the families that they're leaving the investigation up to the folks in Mexico. And the families are saying not only is it difficult getting information from them, but the language barrier is so far and wide that when we get information, we're not really clear on what they're talking about. And so this will be an interesting thing to see how this plays out. 70% of me thinks it's carbon monoxide poisoning, given the fact that when I was looking on that Reddit page, I saw so many related carbon monoxide deaths. But also, I think they also have another issue going on with American citizens going to these resort cities all the way around. Now, I was reading in the chat, some of y'all are saying that it could be her friends have jumped her. And that could be plausible when you carry your ass out of town and you get into some shit. I heard other travelers say that when you visit a foreign country, bring your own carbon monoxide detector with you to put in your room. That's a very good idea. Hell yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know if I said good morning, but hey, T. Trisha 1. Good morning, Linda B. Good morning, good morning. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. However you say it. I have a good friend who just got out of prison in a Southeast Asian country after being framed by his lover who was being blackmailed by someone else. A whole drama you wouldn't believe. Send me the story, honey. Send me the story. Voodoo. What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? And then there was X. I think them so-called friends beat her up and killed her. I agree. That could definitely be one of the scenarios. Had to. Why would they leave her? I'm not leaving my friend. And why would they tell her mom she had alcohol poisoning? Brother Kane. Thank you, Sticks Girl. Brother Kane. Ain't no language barrier. People are speaking 5 languages fluently today. They need to make a movie out of his experience. No, seriously. All right. Now this next story is it just hit me, and it's just weird as fuck. So we all know about sibling rivalry, right? You know, but it can go really, really bad if it's not dealt with at a younger age. Me and my brother definitely had sibling rivalry. My brother would steal my clothes when I would go away to go to school in the morning because I would leave to go to high school before him. He would steal my my outfits. I used to have bad jean outfits and wear them and try to get home before me, take them off, put them back in my closet. And then I would get home and I wouldn't think nothing of it. Well, one day I knew he was wearing my shit because my Air Force Ones, they were scuffed and I could see that somebody put whiteout on them to clear them up. When I got home and saw that, I went the fuck off. I went off. Cursed him out. We was going at it. That's why you ain't got nothing. That's why you always want my stuff. So my aunt finally dealt with it. She got us together. She told me, you know, if you're gonna be buying stuff and bring stuff in the home and you know your brother gonna want it, you better be making sure you gonna either get him some or don't bring it in this house at all. So I had two options. Either I was helping my brother or I was putting it in my trunk. Well, sometimes I was putting shit in my trunk. Sometimes I was giving my brother something. But that little bit of settling that rivalry, it did something for us. It was like, okay, I understood my role. You know, well, baby, you got this sister who killed her teen sister and her teen sister's newborn while they were sleeping cuddled up in the bed. So apparently the teen mom was laying in the bed, fetal position with her baby, and her sister, who apparently, you know, her sister is the heavier set one and her boyfriend is a gang member. Apparently she was jealous of her sister. They had rivalry issues. Now, part of me believes that her sister may not, allegedly, any views expressed today at this point and prior. I always tell you to fact find. Everything is here for discussion, interpretation, criticism, all that good stuff. So allegedly, I'm thinking the sister may have done something with the man because the guy stayed at the house when the sister wasn't at the house and was around the baby when the sister wasn't at the house. And at this given moment in time, the guy was the one who carried out this act, killed her dead in the middle of the night. Then they didn't say anything. They didn't do anything. So for a month later, they didn't have any clues. And finally, they arrested the sister and her boyfriend after somebody led them on a tip. Look at the surveillance cameras. They look at the surveillance camera. They see this jackass boyfriend walking from the scene, looking like either amazed or like, wow, I can't believe I just did this. Which then led them to start asking the sister and brother questions. Get into this shit. It just threw me for a daisy. How much you can hate your sister to the point where you're willing to take her life. So check this out.
Police blame sibling rivalry and jealousy for the shocking murders of an 18-year-old mother and her 3-week-old daughter in September. And thanks for joining us tonight for Action News. I'm Warren Armstrong.
And I'm Margot Kim. Nearly 7 weeks after the deadly shooting, investigators arrested the victim's older sister and that sister's boyfriend. Action News reporter Corin Hoggard shows us how police finally broke this case wide open.
Yaneli Solorio Rivera was shot and killed as she slept in her bed, holding her 3-week-old daughter, Celine. The shooter also killed the baby girl. More than 5 weeks later, police had made no arrests, so they released surveillance video of a potential suspect. When investigators identified him, they realized they talked to one of the alleged murderers at the Southwest Fresno home where mother and child were killed.
And that is when the lies, the deception, and the evil intentions surrounding this case began to unravel.
Police say the guy in the surveillance video is Martin Arroyo Morales. His girlfriend is Yoreli Solorio Rivera, the 22-year-old sister of Yaneli. Fresno Police Chief Paco Balderrama says the couple cracked under questioning by detectives.
And at which time they confessed to the crime and led detectives to the whereabouts of the murder weapon.
The chief says Solorio Rivera was filled with jealousy towards her little sister. He says Arroyo Morales is a validated gang member. Together, he says they planned the murders and how to get away with them.
This was their plan all along. And they thought it worked until it started unraveling on them.
Police say the couple showed no remorse, even after confessing. Prosecutors say they'll file a double murder case against both suspects, and the charges will include the special circumstances that they committed multiple murders.
The special circumstances murder brings about the penalty of life without the possibility of parole or the potential of the death penalty.
Both suspects are in custody with bail set at $2 million. They're expected in court Monday for arraignment.
That shit just got to me. Like I can only like show no remorse in telling the people that you took your like somebody you've grown up, you've known that man had to either be he had to have a lot of control over her, like mind control. That shit is crazy to me. Speaking of that, if y'all got Prime, Amazon Prime, you know, if you got a boo or something and you want to watch something that's scary as fuck, we watched last night the Poughkeepsie tapes on Prime. The first 10 minutes is gonna be a doozy, so just relax. When you get through that, it's a real true crime drama, and when I tell you it's terrifying as hell, and you got to go all the way to the end because it's so sad at the end. I don't want to give it away, but it's this man. He was, you know, a serial killer. He recorded every detail of his killing, almost 200 something tapes, and the tapes were uncovered, and they were showing the tapes in this movie, everything. And there was this one girl, Cheryl Dempsey, who ended up being the one girl who watched everything. She was tied up in the basement. She had to watch everything. She was trained. And when he got caught, he left her alive in a box. And so when they uncovered her alive in a box, they took her to the hospital, treated her, and she gave them one final interview. And the interview is so sad because all she wanted was him back. She wanted to be back with him because she was so brain controlled, so mind coerced that this because she had been with him for so long. She couldn't even speak. She was like, I don't know what you want me to say. She didn't know she had free will. She was so under his control, and it was so sad. And 2 weeks after that interview, she killed herself because she wanted to be with this man. So that's why I said her killing her sister, it just reminds me of how much somebody can have so much control over you that you'll do something dumb as this. Take your sister life away and her three and your niece. Bitch, I hope you rot in jail. I hope you get your teeth beat out your mouth and your hair pulled out, bitch. I hope you just roll over one day and your heart just leaking, bitch. You need all of that shit. You're going to take your niece's life, you tacky rat. Anyways, y'all. So those were my 4 local news stories I wanted to talk to you all about today. The racist teacher in Texas. And I'm so glad the little kid stood up for himself. We talked about this racist councilman, and he's calling the police on this little girl because she catching lanternflies. Are you slow? We got into the Mexico City Airbnb, and then we talked about the sister killing the sister. Now, y'all hit the like button. We about to shift over into hot topics. Wendy Williams, Bhad Bhabie, Kenneth Petty, Megan, Pastor Dawkins. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Thank y'all for still rocking with me. I appreciate it. I hope some of them stories definitely piqued your interest and you was like, wow, we got that kind of shit going on. Yeah. And shout out to the crew. I'm very mindful of what I watch, so I don't blame you. Poughkeepsie, New York. Yep. Spell it. I want to watch. Oh yeah. No, thank you, Miss Toby. People are real life crazy. That's why I try to be nice and mind my business. That's the depraved life without parole. They look off. Yeah, it's called Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie. Yeah, I see you, Miss Toby. Yep, Poughkeepsie, like you spelled it, Coco. Risa, what up, boo? King Roman News, can you be a hot topic? But I might, if DKL go live, I might slide over on DKL today, see what he popping off, see what's popping off over there. All right, y'all. So messy. Whoa. So I got this whole double monitor setting up now. Monitor here and the monitor here for my screens. I'm feeling like a real person that's doing this. What up, Rodney? What's going on? Welcome. Rochelle. Nalisa. What up? Red Wings Hockey. Udo. He roams so fine. He know it, child. No. Now, if you say slow or dumb, I'll be offended. You know, I'm really about really about depth, having substance, because you know it could be attractive people and they just be some of the slowest, dumbest, no substance, no wherewithal, anything like that. For me, it's about like having just a little bit like, so what because even the ugliest people can become attractive if they have some substance and some knowledge. You be like, damn, say that shit again. I've caught myself intrigued, like, wait, what? And you say you do what now? Damn, you be like, I know you ugly, but shit, I might want to talk about this further. So thank you for the compliment. Thank you. I just want you to know I'm not like stuck on looks at all. I'm not like stuck on myself at all, because there's finer. There's some baddies, like, baby. All right, so let's get into Wendy Williams. So I haven't talked about Wendy in a long time. She recently came out, told us she about to do her podcast. Allegedly, she left rehab. She's supposed to be home. Apparently, the word on the curb, but she's supposed to be home during this time doing some getting ready for her podcast experience. And when I say getting ready, meaning pre-taping or like getting some life or doing something that's going to help benefit her podcast. So allegedly, that's what this whole she want to go out and do all this shit for. A lot of that is to have something to say, to be on the street, to be in the mix. Well, in addition to that, we've recently found out allegedly. Shout out to the replay gang. Allegedly, replay crew. Let me rephrase that. Shout out to the replay crew. Wendy Williams has not spoken to her son, Kevin Jr., since she left rehab, and he's heartbroken over the fractured relationship. So apparently over this year, their relationship has become even more fractured. When he gave her the ultimatum that you need to go to rehab or I'm out of your life, for her, she went, but I don't think it set well with Wendy. It almost was like, you bitches, everybody telling me what to do, and y'all eating off of me. And so she went to rehab. But the word is that she came out and she's not called him. She's not reached out to him or anything. Now, I half believe this nigga. That's why I didn't even want to pull up the clip. Her nosy, messy ass, want to be in the front of the screen ass brother came out here and told us this tea. I didn't see the video. I'm just going to report directly from the article. So her brother, Tommy Williams, claimed that during a Facebook Live session, her son had flown from Florida to New York City to surprise his mother for her 58th birthday in July, but she refused to allow him up to her $4.5 million penthouse. He said that her son is up there to spend what could be monumental time with his mother, that if she opens the door, but he said that she kept him outside like it was paparazzi. Now, this was allegedly back in July. So now we're here in November, and there's still no sort of communication between the two. Well, he's heartbroken. Sources close to them says that Kevin Jr., Hunter Jr. is heartbroken about the situation, and that he would like to speak to his mother, but apparently she is staying distant from not only him, but a lot of other people around her. He's been trying to focus on finishing up his last year of school, but he did tell the U.S. Sun that it has been challenging having to deal with everything going on with his mother. So, I think a lot of that has to do with, Wendy and her control. She wants control of her narrative. She wants control of the things in her life the way it was before. And I think her son and her may have had to alter their relationship simply because of this public acknowledgement of you having substance abuse issues. It may alter the way he kind of not respects you, but like my mom might need me to be more of a, you can't do this kind of guy, and less of, it's okay, mom. And I think they're walking that line because he sees it and she sees it, and I think his opinion matters to her a lot. So I'm going to stay tuned. Shout out to Wendy Williams and Kevin Jr. I hope that, this is hearsay, and I do hope that you guys have spoke or are going to speak, because it's nothing worse than, a mother and her son, given everything that's happened to Wendy, given everything that's happened to him, you still need your mom. And so, yeah, I didn't want to even carry that like it was a bad thing. Shout out to the chat. Exactly, countersuit, as he should be. He just wanted the best for his mama. That sucks. Yeah, I can't believe her brother is so damn messy. You and me both. It's like Queen. In a minute, I'm about to start calling him one of the girls. See, I even came out with my first video when I talked about him when I was doing For the Culture. So, this is almost a year ago. When I was doing For the Culture, I said, I don't think he's gay, y'all. I think he's deaf. He's messy. I think he just wants to be. Now I'm starting to question that. I think you want to dibble because it's too much. You are in it too much. What are you gaining? People now, everybody gonna only come to you for Wendy news because the other stuff is so shrouded by Wendy news. So yeah, you be like, please hit the like. Thank you. What up, Rodney? Yo, Rodney. I'm just so you know, I definitely know that you are her moderator. And I know it could be difficult to be her moderator and be over here, but I want you to know that that was last weekend. I'm so over it, the situation. It's not anything I'm going to be talking about in the future. I've moved on. It is what it is on my channel. So know that coming over here, you're cool. And even if you want to defend her over here in the chat, I'm not coming from a place of disrespect. So just know, I just want you to know that there's a level of comfort. I'm mature enough to know when it's time to play and when it's time to be about business. So, and I appreciate you coming back through in spite of everything this weekend. And let me also say this: you can go up for your girl. If that's your girl, go up for her. Go up for your girl. I don't care if it's me, anybody else. Go up for your girl. That's your girl. And so I also took light to that, and I thought that was commendable on your part. So do your thing. And thank you for coming back to the channel. Mrs. G, Stacy Roberson, good morning. Good morning. I know what you mean. Been fine all my life, so I try my hardest not to be that. I get it. You crazy. King Roman is a catch fine intelligent. Y'all about to have me. You know what happens, right? The more King Roman name, the more people want to pick and poke and have a beef. So that's why I sort of was like, oh, I'm not going to, let me just, because that's what happens. So that's why I'll be like, I'm not asking for any of that. I just be like in the chill with the people I chill with. Child, I had a snide remark to make about rehab. I'm going to hold it. I can't stand the crew. I can't stand y'all. Our brother makes my ass itch. Phoenix Diamond, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Journey. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How did she keep him quiet for all those years? That's a good ass question. Speaking on experience, the roles do change. I had to put my foot down with my mom in regards to her drug addiction. That's why I said, that's why I can relate so much to this, because it's like I can understand how, it's like, Mom, I see it. You're in it, but I'm telling you, I see it. And you may not believe it, but yeah, you got to do something if you want to move something. And I think that is the battle they're fighting. She wants her control back. I'm your mother, even though if I was on substance abuse or not. So that's why I'm saying I hope it's just a bump in the hill. Because if they can get over this, anything that comes in the future, they can get over it. I hope they can. Don't take my route and be stubborn and be a bitch about it. Y'all really should match the modes. Wendy ain't no saint. Nah, not Roman. Queens recognize queens. That man is a queen. You know it. Listen, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let me find out she got many of her messy ways from watching him growing up. Okay? Watching him and her own mother. Her mother messy now. Wendy. Oh, Wendy. Of course, Rodney. Wendy. King Roman, but you're usually not like that. You're always a sweetheart. I'm very understanding. Completely. It's just, we'll talk about it on Sunday. We're going to talk about it on Sunday. I saw Linda B. Listen, when I tell you I be telepathic, even when I'm not in the chat and I be seeing y'all type in the chat, I be just dying. I be like, God damn it. I be rolling. So I appreciate it because trust me, I be rolling. I can never do Wendy. She is a low vibrational plate. Can I tell you, I would love to do her only if it's professional. Only like if she wants, if I'm watching her in her interview role. But I think behind the scenes, go hang out with Wendy. I don't think I'd be interested in hanging out with Wendy. Now that I'm watching everything and how it unfolds, I feel like I'd be sort of boring to her. If y'all get what I mean. Like, I would be sort of like, all right, well, I got to go to work tomorrow, girl. Let's go. And I think she'd be more wanting to party, to prove something. Like, I'm still that bitch. I'm on the scene. Whereas, I think she's in that proving stage, and people like around her age and with that kind of wealth, they're done proving themselves. So you don't catch them doing all that kind of stuff, trying to fit in with the younger crowd. They're just, and she don't have that. She ain't built friends along the way that could grow with her, that could know her history and really emotionally connect with her. Now she's stuck trying to rebuild these connections, and it looks weird as fuck. I don't know how many shows ago I showed y'all the picture of her showing up at those white guys' house for a party. It was a whole bunch of white guys, and she was dressed up party, and they were like, "Girl, this is a whole pajama Jimmy. What are you doing? Ain't no drugs in here. We got tacos, beer. What you want?" She was like, "Oh," and she left, and it was like, "Wait, what? Huh? Okay." So I think Wendy definitely need to. She got some other she did substance abuse rehab. Now you need to go into mental health and sort of talk your issues out. I have this. Good morning, Charles Dotson. Thank you. Good morning, Roman. I enjoy your thorough, intelligent presentation of the news and hot topics. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Charles Dotson. I appreciate that. Can I highlight that? So that's on my show. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I respect that comment because it definitely be sometimes where I'll be like the Mexico City. Let me keep digging and digging and seeing something. So thank you. I'm glad you pay attention to that too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's the bridge. Not low vibration. I just can't get behind anybody that judges people the way she does like that. Yeah. All right. So now I posted this picture on my community wall of Bhad Bhabie. And I was like, I guess this is her transformation. She got so much slack for this picture on Instagram and Twitter last night that she took it all down, all pictures, everything of her. So this is the picture of her, right? That I posted on social media. Now, as you can see, which is my left, probably your right, that's her when she was on the show. Bitch outside. I'm outside, bitch, or something like that. Now, this is the current her. Now, this is the story that everyone got this picture from. She actually posted an Instagram story. Here's the story. Girl, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What in the entire heck has just happened?
Girl, I don't know. We all trying to figure that shit out. We all
to hear with the bull.
Period. And so she got mad. She took everything down, and she took all her pictures down. Her response, her initial response, and I was trying to grab it, but she took her stories down. Her initial response was, I don't come on social media or post anything to social media because, you all always trying to snap back. And then she posted a picture of her foundation, the shade of her foundation, and she's like, case closed after sharing the foundation shade. Then she posted again and she said, I don't make no money on here. I don't need to be on here. I do it all for my fans, but y'all take it too far every time. It is honestly sad and weird. And that's what she did before she took it all down. So if you go to Bhad Bhabie on Instagram, it's 0 posts, no story, nothing. The only way you can see this girl face now is to go to her OnlyFans. And I think that's what it was for her to do, to promote people going to the OnlyFans, because apparently that's where she released a bigger statement on her OnlyFans. Now I have OnlyFans. Do you think I'm finna subscribe to her for anything? Are you kidding me? This is her when she was younger. She went from that, y'all. I mean, a complete one, to this. I was wondering if she could move her lips. That's what I was looking for. Like, that shit look like it's metal weights and bullets. Like, she got heavy cement fillers in there. Like, girl, you went from no lips on the lip on the top. You know that lip at the top. I hate people. I not hate people, but I just think it's so nasty when people don't have lips. You'd be like, well, how do you drink? How do you kiss? How do you, like, what are you doing? I guess she said it won't be me. So she showed off her new look. This is her new look. She don't give a fuck. She basically says she don't give a fuck. She's wearing a specific shade of foundation. Now you can't deny the girl's definitely had something done to her face. She definitely had them lips stacked. She definitely had that face, contoured, and that nose a little bit. But it's funny how nowadays you do have a lot of white women wanting to look and portray that black image, but not just any black image. It ain't just any black image. It's the I'm almost Puerto Rican, I'm almost light skinned, I'm butter pecan. And I just find it so weird. Remember when we were talking about Takeoff and we were talking about the picture of the room of all the women in the room? And I said, look at all those light skinned women. You know, it's like the Puerto Rican, the butter pecan. And it's like, girl, you're not happy with the fact that you're already lighter complected. You gotta be perfect complected. You gotta damn near like your blood veins is getting pushed and it's pushing red blood to your face. And I also, no shade, no tea, I see that shit with Kim Kardashian all the time. I always see her and I look at her face and her makeup and the way she does things, and I'm like, you really are walking that fine line of I'm white, but I can give it up until you open your mouth up. And then it's like, yeah, girl, you can drop somebody off at the funeral, at the reunion, but you can't come. You can drop the kids off, but you stay in the car and keep rolling. So I thought that was interesting. The fact that you see this transformation from white to black. Like, damn, your kids ain't gonna come out that way, honey, unless you get a black man. Like, it ain't gonna be the same way at all. Child, the culture vulture is real. Good morning, Queen Diva. Queen Diva, I think I saw you yesterday on Miss T Velocity. Miss T Velocity, you had a great live yesterday. I was in your bushes. I shared the live, but I heard you. Even your conspiracy theory on Yay. I was like, you know, after having a good conversation with you, I can, definitely listen. Do I think his particular situation was a sacrifice? No, only because Donda West was a professor at the school and that I'm familiar with. And we sort of had a commemorative thing around her. And we talked about how she passed away from plastic surgery. And so, yeah, but I could see that on another level in a lot of different ways. Like Jennifer Hudson, ain't nobody gonna tell me her family wasn't sacrificed. How you lose your mom, your nephew, it was so many people and generations that she lost in one day. And then her career just went poof. She became GOAT. It's like, now that, if you want to Miss T Velocity, can we talk about that? Because that's something I'll hop up and want to have a conversation for. Because ain't no way. Now, I was in Chicago when that happened, and you should have saw me. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I thought they said Jennifer Hudson for a minute. I'm like, it's going to be only a minute before they say Jennifer Hudson. I'm telling you. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I agree. But Queen Diva, I did remember seeing you. It was good to see you. It was good to see you. If that was you. Child Fates, listen. No, sorry. I can't believe it in your face. Girl, want to be black so bad. I am offended. Who she thinks she is, Nikki? Baby. And hold up. So let me take it one step further. She's so mad because people says that she's trying to be black like Iggy's black. She's proven that she's blacker than Iggy. So she recently, within the last 3 or 4 days, put out a diss track to Iggy. I'm not going to play it because the shit was horrible. To Iggy, saying that, y'all think I want to be like her? Basically saying I'm more hooder and harder than Iggy. I said, not the two white girls arguing who harder, who blacker. You bitches are delusional and confused. Like, are we really doing this shit today? For real. Not a low vibrational plate. Hopefully she stays gone. That girl knows what she's doing. She black fishing. Yes, she is. And the sad part is, it's many black men that'll eat that shit up. Literally, eat that shit all up, into all of that. And she'll be submissive for the right one. Lunel has the OnlyFans. You know what? I'm not playing with you, Stacey Roberson. Good morning, Fates. I'm telling you, damn, I thought it was a black woman. Sorry, she had her forehead done too. It's like what all the Kardashian women are doing. Yeah. It's that exotic look. Good morning, yeah, but you don't want the full black experience. Nah, they don't want that. They don't want to walk in the store and know what it feels like. I'm walking my dog the other day down my street, and this lady parks her car in my neighborhood. Bitch, you're new to the area. And I'm walking my dog. I have my little dog, Jack. My Jack Russell is my friend shirt. I'm walking him. Da-da-da, head pops on. This bitch takes a whole leap and walk into the bike lane because she didn't want to walk up. She was so terrified. Not only did she did that, Eli stops at a tree. So I just happened to look back at her as she's finished walking. The bitch turned around and looked at me and hit the lock again on her car. And as she's walking further, she's still locking it. And I'm just sitting there like, this shit is crazy. You bitches are nuts. If you think I gave that much about you, you have a screw loose bitch. You're parking in my community. I'm not in your area just arbitrarily walking my dog. So it's like, you don't want that experience. You want to be black, but you don't want that experience of having every day. Bitch, I'm safe. It's okay. It's all right. And I stopped giving a fuck. I just stopped. After a while, I just be like, ciao. And then now that I got Eli, it's even a little lighter because they'll be like, oh, look at your dog. And that allows for that softening. But it'd be like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Kim started the trend, honey. Okay. The whole family besides Court. Yeah, Courtney, she ain't with it. Yeah, I agree. Court stayed in her roots. She'll throw on some country boots. Not really, but thanks for asking. I just watched a plastic surgeon's video and he said we still don't know what all this plastic surgery being done at a young age is going to look like in the aging process. They are paying their Frankenstein future. Damn shame in the 80s. Our lips, hips, and ass, and now skin color got made fun of. Now people are paying big money to just look like us. Kim says the women are jealous of her natural body. Yeah, Kim. All right. We'll go with that, Kim. We'll go with that. Those type of women irks my nerves. All right, so now I don't know if Kenneth Petty is being advised to do this type of shit, or I don't know if he is just really pressed. So we have advised, which could be someone made this educated decision to tell him, hey, sue New York State. Or we could have this, fuck this shit, man, I'm sick of this shit. So I'm weighing these options as I'm looking at the story like, who in the fuck told this man? So Kenneth Petty decides to come out here and challenge his sex offender status by suing New York State. Now get this. This is why he decides to sue. Because I had to put my fake attorney eye on, like, wait, bitch, what? He decides to sue because he says the date and time frame back in 2002 or 5. 2002, 2005, early 2000s, when he signed his identifying as a sex offender, his decree and all his documents, he couldn't have done it because he was in jail. In fact, the signature on the letter is forged. I said, holy shit. Now, I said, if he was advised, someone advised, an attorney would say, okay, well, let me check the court records and see how they're verifying that you were there. And you would instantly get a court transcript of a recorded conversation in court of you actually signing the document, of you actually saying, yes, Your Honor, I certify that this is me, understanding that these are my terms of release. But instead, he decides to proceed forward. Now, here's my thing, Nikki, because I always try to leave you out, boo. You my baby. What's up? No, what's up? What's up? What's going on? What's up? We can't have. I'm speaking as a barb right now. We can't have this shit in our era when you drop this next album. Every time you drop an album, it's some Kenneth Petty shit. Queen, we had some shit. Your next singles, we got some shit. At least the shit on your last couple of singles, Super Freaky Girl, you started. It was all your beef. You and the rap girls. I don't want you. You just told us that you gearing up to release your album within, this year. We only got a month, so for a month and a couple weeks. So I'm geeked. I love when people drop albums during holidays because it's a memorial thing. You remember it. I remember when Beyonce dropped her surprise album because it was around the holidays. I remember that shit. So my thing is, tell your husband, let this shit go. Let it go. Let it go. Either let it go or stop doing this shit so publicly. Have your attorneys do this shit. When they come asking you for a statement, I have no statement. We should know this shit. Because when I looked at this, the prosecuting attorney immediately filed an appeal saying, Your Honor, this is some bullshit that's going on here. The man was clear. Here's the court transcript from back then. As you can see, on record, he first affirms that I am Kenneth Petty. I know my rights. Yes, I understand what I'm being charged with. Yes, I understand the restrictions. He had to start that with that. So him saying he wasn't there and he didn't know what was going on, well, maybe I'm missing part of the story, Kenneth. Maybe, because I don't really be all in your business like that, given how I feel about Nikki. But right now, I just don't want you fucking up our next album. She competing with the other girls. I don't need no other shit in our way. Kenneth, baby, get your shit together. Nikki, boo. I don't want you to release a project and then we got all this clout over it. I'm for real. I want to rap the fuck out. Give me bars on bars, baby. For real, for real. I don't want this shit. So that's why when I saw this, I said, here we go again. Around the time she about to release the album. So now we got to deal with this shit. Now we got this shit to deal with, Nikki. Stop being selfish. It ain't just about y'all. Y'all got fans too. We always go to bat for your ass. We always doing that shit. Don't you get tired of sometimes having to always come out here and say, it ain't Nikki, it's Ken. It ain't Nikki, it's Kenneth. Well, I'm an older Barb, been around for a long time. I'm sick of it, baby. I am so sick of it. Just annoying. It gets annoying as fuck. That girl is gross. Lord, the white girls fighting about who's blacker. I can't. Your opinion on Chris Evans named Sexiest Man of the Year? I like his, not Sexiest Man of the Year, but I do think he's sexy. I do. Yeah, I saw that too. I said Sexiest Man of the Year. I thought they were gonna put the guy Kim Kardashian was sleeping with. What was his name? I don't forgot the man name. Because he's now getting endorsement deals for that BDE, that big dick energy. He got Manscaped paying him out the wazoo. OnlyFans want him. They offering him $1 million deal. He was talking about it in an interview. I'm like, everybody want to see that BDE, huh? I'm like, damn. I don't know. I ain't saying I'm not curious. I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying, it is what it is. But yeah, I think Chris Evans is cute. Isaiah, you're hanky panky. He's so funny. Child of Audacity. I bought the wrong membership. I'll change it next month. It was my fault. Oh no, thank you. I appreciate it. Hold up. The comments moving. I appreciate the support. Y'all know I appreciate it too. Cold. I wasn't ready. Damn shame. In the 80 lips and hips and ass and now skin color got made fun of and now people are paying big money to look just like us. If Jennifer was there, that brother-in-law for sure would have taken her with them. That story got me. The stole Sade forehead. Oh my God, you're so right, Kings Mina. That girl has issues. All the white girls. I'm so far. Let me get up, catch up. Hot Spicy T. He better stop trying to waste my tax money, okay? Honestly, it's probably occurring because of Nikki being his wife. They're trying hard to get that offender label off of him. I just feel like it just be the wrong timing, though. Can't remember. Maybe it's Nikki pushing it. Wow. He's bringing. Well, they already said the statute of limitation is up for him to even try to dismiss this. They said that he had 10 years from 2004 when they rendered this. That would have been 2014, 2015. So now he's just trying to contest the process, not contest the actual sanctions. And the judge is saying, how can you come contest the process when you came back to court several times after 2015 outside of the statute of limitations for courts on this specific issue, and you never then tested the process, but now you want to test the process? So all roads are looking to this was dumb as hell, and you got to call it what it is. It is on her level. Now let's just be honest. I ain't even gonna front with you. There are so many other celebrities do this same shit, got this other same shit on them we don't know about, got sex offender. Oh my God. If you think there ain't no celebrities that got some shit on them, they got some shit on them. But it's all about how you maneuver and get. She could work this out if she wanted to, but it can't be so public. Like some stuff, you should do your fact finding before you do the execution. That way, when you execute, it's so perfectly done. You've held a press release. I would have sort of had a press release with my attorney coming out. Attorneys for Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty come out today and release a statement. Make that the grandioso thing. Point everybody to the statement. That way you put the narrative behind it. Now we just get the fact that a petition was filed. We see the petition. Now, as fans, we have to, what? It may be a bigger story. You might have found something, but we don't know. And you're a public figure. You got to start doing a better job of honing your public figureness. Like, you got to make that, because I'm a fan and it gets so tiring of hearing Kenneth Petty shit. I get tired of that shit. Pete Davidson. Yeah, Pete Davidson. Baby, they want that. They want that thing. But you say you've been around a long time. Just saying, Pete Davidson will never be Sexiest Man of the Year as he is facially challenged. Talk about coon eyes. I didn't know if his eyes was growing like a little beard under them. They were so, it's like it's black and it's black. It's just, it's a weird little mix, no matter how much BD he has, not to mention. He is a very handsome man, but Sexiest Man of the Year, nah. Yeah, I said the same thing. Nah. So yeah. So Kenneth, get your shit together. Get your shit together. We over it at this point. Now, let's get into Megan. Baby, Megan has been, everybody's, what the fuck is going on? Armand Wiggins tweeted something the other day, and I had to like that tweet. He was like, either Megan Thee Stallion is guilty. I mean, either Megan Thee Stallion, he was saying like either she is lying, or these niggas don't really like her in the industry. I don't know what's going on with Megan, but every time you turn around, there's some shit with Megan. So apparently, Megan is supposed to be at the awards this weekend, the American Music Awards, and she's up for Female Rapper of the Year, up against Cardi and Glorilla. I said, Glorilla? Damn, y'all throwing these girls into these categories early. I'm like, the Glorilla is in that category? What the fuck? I said, wow. I mean, that's a little too early for me, but favorite female hip hop artist. And so the voting for the awards ends tonight. They're supposed to be, she has this whole performance scheduled for Sunday as she received her awards. And apparently her record label 1501, they don't want her to perform any of her music, especially off of Traumazine. Traumazine was recorded under the 1501 imprint. And they don't want her to perform. They don't want her to do any of those songs, to the point that they let the network know, AMA know, that if you do that, we will file like either a copyright or something to prevent them from airing the show. Well, they told Megan, you better deal with that shit, bitch, because if you can't do that, you can't come on the show, ho. So Megan got her attorneys to file a petition in court to have them not come around her performance or do anything with her song or music. The court granted her this. Now, the crazy part about it is that she's going to do the show. She's going to do all of this well before they be able to come to court to decide whether or not she can do the show, which is the fucked up part. Like, it's almost like at the end of the day, a non-deal. She's going to perform, but they want her not to perform. So it'll be interesting. Apparently 1501 and 300 Entertainment said that they didn't they didn't do anything to mess with the AMA broadcast on ABC, but they heard enough to grant the temporary restraining order. Both companies are now blocked from interfering with her music being used on the award show. And it's just so fucking sad that she has to go around all of this shit. Like, girl, and she still has the lawsuit with them pending. She completed her contract. She still has records to do. She's given them albums. They're not accepting a couple of her albums because they're specifically saying we get the right to approve the songs going on the album. We didn't approve these songs. And so they're going back and forth with that in court. So do I think this will cloud her win? Not necessarily. But I do think that it's going to continue to add this clout around Megan in a negative way. Like, we get tired of hearing, that's what it is. We're getting tired of hearing Megan this, Megan that, So, yeah, she filed a restraining order. It's been through. They're going to let her go. We'll see her this Sunday on the award show. It'd be interesting to see what song she's going to perform that they didn't want her to perform. Like, damn. The fuck? Don't y'all get a cut off her show anyways? All of her appearances? Let that shit go. Let my people go. But she know this about him before she started with him. Just wondering if she could have avoided this because it has her affect her repetition a little bit along with him. True. True. But they said that Nicki Minaj had been dating Kenneth Petty for years, even before she even got in the rap game. Josh Brolin is a great example. He is a domestic violence offender, yet he was able to play Thanos, one of the most important characters in Marvel cinema. Most forget. There you go, Risa. Thank you. I always look at y'all gonna love this little video I put together for y'all. But yes, thank you, Risa. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. They are all out there. It's just the way you do it. And clearly, she don't have the best team. I don't understand why the guys don't like her. They always have, yeah, I don't know. That's because the men in the industries are usually able to leverage their machine and patriarchy against women. It's a hard task against, yeah, it is. Megan is getting it beat all the way around. All Carl had to do was renegotiate the deal. Now look at him. Let her go. I wonder if they trying to hook up with her and she's saying no. I think she likes short, ugly men. Partisan ain't short. Partisan thick. Partisan tall and thick. Yeah. All right, Megan. Do your thing, boo. Now, this last story. Pastor Dwayne Dawkins. Have you all remember the whole sex tape that leaked earlier this year, back in March, of him and a guy, and it was like, whoa, baby, what the fuck is going on? And I think during that time when I talked about it, I wanted to talk about it from the point of it wasn't nothing. The only thing that was shocking was that it was put out, but that behavior is sort of something that's unspoken. But many of us in the gay community, especially the black gay male community, where it's shunned upon, sort of, being gay, we see this all the time where there's down low men, or they're in the church and they lead these double lives. And so for a while, he didn't say anything. He was quiet. We even caught a glimpse of this on TikTok of him spending time with his family. And
Do y'all know what today is? It's August 24th.
It's her birthday. It's her birthday. It's her birthday.
Do you
So I show that, sort of healed and moved on. So in this clip that I'm about to play for you all, he went and sat down. Now, I don't know if Nery's is still in the room, but I looked at the panel to see, is this an LGBTQ panel? Because it was very, very interesting at how comfortable he was in sharing his story. What I do want to say is that him doing that, I know it's going to make a lot of people mad, but it's great because it lets other people know that, yeah, you're not alone. And some of the shit you're going through, you can hear somebody. It to me, it was eye opening because I know a lot of men will relate to this man. A lot of men will identify with him. Not, and I'm saying who are bisexual or down low. He provided that conversation, so now there's a reference point in church. Now you ain't got to put it under the rug. It is like women do have a reference point. It ain't like we don't know. No, publicly we know that he did do that. And apparently, he was going to contemplate suicide, but he decided not to for the sake of his kids. And so he's still around. So I wanted to play this, and have a discussion before we, wrap up today's show. This is just, this is just interesting. And I always wonder sometimes, do women not know? Like, did you, I'll be wondering, wait, did you not know the signs, or was it hidden so well? So he came out here. Pastor Dwayne Dawkins breaks his silence about bisexual sex tape scandal with male sneaky link. Now, he came out, he had this conversation. Now, I'm going to stop and play some of it because I want to have room for a conversation with it. It's about 4 minutes long. So we're going to get through all of this. All right.
Pastor Dwayne Dawkins.
Blessings to everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to be in company with so many people who are willing to be vulnerable and to share. Mine is probably the most recent, I think, I'm not sure, but I had connected with an individual of the same gender, and I've had throughout my childhood up until even this moment dealing with bisexual tendencies. anointed, called of God, and all of that, but did not have an opportunity to really dig into those issues and unpack them. No excuse to it, just what it is. I connected with an individual. It's what they call a sneaky link.
All right.
Yeah. And in that moment, he recorded it. I was aware of the recording. Prior to it was asked if he could record, and I thought it would be for his personal pleasure, so to speak.
Now, what I don't understand is that in that I had to stop it there. That is also something that I always find weird about, guys who are dibbling and dabbling. Their level of comfort with the risk. Like, you don't want to be exposed, but you will record and film and think it's for somebody's personal diary. Like, and he's not alone. It's a lot of them that want to record or don't mind, maybe being seen in public discreetly, and then you run this risk. So on a lot of sides, this provides to people like, this is what it looks like while it's going through, but you have to deal with this. He lost a lot of things out of this just for not living his truth. And it's because of the shun, the backlash, me being a black male pastor, growing up this way, that I've now found myself in this. That his wife is very much so shamed. It is completely shameful as a woman, being the mother of his kids, knowing that you're, and the footage is out there. It's not like it's gone away. It's out there forever now. So it's definitely a shameful task. So for him to say, I'm outweighing all of that shit, the shame, yeah, you can go and record. I'm just shocked about it. It's very shocking. So let's continue.
I'm not sure I understand.
Again, I preface this all by saying it was not right. It was wrong, but that's where I was in that moment. I had to acknowledge where I was. Later on that same day, he posted it. He's a content creator. So this is someone who does this as their main or one of their sources of income or whatnot. I called him immediately when I was made aware of it and said, why did you do that? Please take it down. I didn't give consent for that, etc.
So you mean to tell me, that his main source of income is probably making content of sexual nature, and that's a part of his income, and then he gets a tape with someone like you? You don't think that's going to be a part of his income as well? And you're like, why did you do that? You're not that naive, man. You're not that naive. You're not that naive. You can't be, to me, at least.
He hung up on me. I called back and he had blocked me. That was the last I'd ever heard from him. That evening, you can imagine, I did not sleep. I have a wife and 3 beautiful sons, pastor a church in South Florida for 14 years at that point, and family, loved ones, all of that. So the weight of that shame sat on me. For the first time ever in my life, I pulled out my life insurance policy. And while church folk laughed at it, while friends distanced from me, I contemplating getting rid of myself. This is the first time I'm saying much of this openly.
Now, I don't want to ever dismiss someone's claims of suicide or take away from how they felt in that moment of being suicidal. But I think it's also very selfish when people lean on, this moment made me suicidal, because it's the easiest way to build sympathy and empathy in the moment and take away from the harm that you've done. So I'm not taking away from the fact that the man wanted to commit suicide, because it to some, it could be suicidal to have to weigh this burden down. But I can only imagine how his wife felt. The shame, that's forever shame. That's forever shame. It's different for a man. Like, if I had a woman and she was cheating on me with another female and I was, straight, I'd probably say, well, shit. I mean, maybe we all could get along. It's just different. But when it's a man and a woman, it becomes different for that woman because of society, because of the structure of society, the way everyone in the culture is built, the way the church is built. It's shameful. It's just as much shame for that man as it is for that woman. So for him to sit there and say, I pulled out my life insurance policy because I was going to contemplate suicide, it almost makes you feel like you had the most pain. You lost the most. No, 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 no. Because someone else lost much and they weren't even involved. She wasn't even involved. And it's embarrassing as hell. She can't go, she has little room to talk shit to anyone, basically. Little room to talk shit to anyone. So let's continue. Damn life insurance.
At all. So bear with me if I'm a little shaky about it.
Thank you. This is powerful.
At the end of that night, I wrestled and I said, well, I thought of my sons. And I said, well, do they live with the shame of having a father who's infidelity of that nature? Because, there's usually grace for heterosexual falls. But when it comes to the same gender, homosexual, what does the scripture say? You can fall 7 times, get up. But most folks have their preferences to how you're allowed to fall.
Yeah. This is good.
And I fell in a way that most folks don't think you can come back from.
Yeah.
Whether it's due to it being sin, which, by the way, my theology has not changed. I still believe in what I believe in, which is the fundamental conservative interpretation of the Bible. But I do believe that the approach to my situation and situations like it needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because it's more of it than we think.
Yeah.
That night, I decided I'm going to have to live for my sons, and
Wow.
for nobody else.
Wow.
A dead dad or a bisexual struggling dad.
Yeah.
Which one?
See, I have to stop there, y'all, because I've had this same conversation with guys that I would mess with who would be down low. And as I got older dealing with them, this is why I kind of got out of that shit, because my tolerance for dumb and ignorance was like on 10. It was like, you're not that naive. So my thing with him saying getting out of it because of the kids, or I'd rather live as a bisexual dad struggling with it than to be dead. So if you know that on the other side, what was your thoughts going through that? Did you not think, as a pastor looking into the world, looking at all these other people's situations, did you not come to the realization that it would always be in your benefit to be a struggling gay dad? It would always be in your benefit to be a struggling bisexual dad, or whatever you call yourself. That's always the better benefit. At what point did you put your sexuality over your kids to get you to the point where you were going to commit suicide, and then you recourse that? Oh, Lord, for out of the kids, I'm gonna be here because it's rather to be. Was it the support that you got afterwards? Because I'm gonna tell y'all now, yeah, going through it is tough, and people always say that when you're struggling, you're going through the struggle, it's gonna be hard. But when you get on the other side, it right sides itself. It feels good. You know why? Because that struggle along the way, you're building up people who are gonna support you enough till you are comfortable in that lane, and you have these kind of conversations. And I looked at Caitlyn Jenner and how when Caitlyn Jenner went through her transition, and she did that show, and you see her put herself around all these other transsexual women, and she would have to figure it out and battle it. Like, they would be having issues with her. Like, you're not just because you just got here, bitch. You ain't been here for a long time. So, and through that, she built up friends and support, and she was able to start being more of herself. Now, I don't know what the fuck she's doing today, and I really don't care. But I can see that with him. Now you've built up support, and you're comfortable enough to get to this point. And I say this to DL men, bisexual men. This is always the case. This is always going to be how it is. You're going to have to struggle. You're going to have to go through it. You will. And if that's what you're afraid of, then know that whatever it is you're afraid of, you're going to have to confront. Whether you want to kill yourself, you're going to lose. All of those things are going to still be there, no matter how much you hide it. So when you do get caught, or whether you don't get caught, the outcome of it will always be the same. You get caught, still going to be shameful. You come out and start dealing with it, still going to be shameful. So getting to suicide to me is, and maybe because I'm in it, I don't see the suicidal part. But yeah, it can definitely be a heavy burden. But I just don't think you just simply say, for the sake of my kids, I'm gonna be here. You were doing it, and you just got caught. Let's say you didn't get caught. You would have still been, you wouldn't have been up there sitting around telling the story. You went through the struggles, now you got support, now you up here saying this. It made me feel like, okay, don't try to shun and don't try to, make this I'm coming out moment for yourself. You should talk to the men who are looking at you go through this, and what ways did you find support? What conversations did you have within yourself and with others that help you get to this point where you're up here? Don't nobody want to hear this shit you about that wasn't the comeback speech that I was expecting, because it poured woe is me. And at the end of the day, deciding your sexuality is not a woe is me, because no one cares about anybody else's sexuality but theirs. So it's going to always be a woe is you. I don't give a fuck if you're straight. Somebody always going to have something to say about you. So for me, I just caught this like a little bit less empathetic and more PR stunt. It gave me real stunty cunty. So let's wrap this one up real quick.
I decided to live.
Wow.
At least for that day.
Thank you. Come on, give God praise for that, church.
And now I'm still in the process of healing. I have gone through maybe 2-3 therapists. My spiritual leadership has been involved, and very few of the people I pastored have actually, been in touch with me. But I understand that. We'll get into that, I guess, later. I understand the different responses from different people. But now I live here in Atlanta, and I am teaching back in the classroom, which was my original profession, and doing some other things in terms of side hustles, as they would say, trying to make up the difference from going from full-time ministry of a growing church to now being the poster boy for what goes wrong when you think you're secure and you're not.
That's good.
Y'all comments are very interesting. Unfortunately, his wife will feel shameful. She will question her own sexuality. Did she not fulfill him? What could she have done or did? She sent him out to look for a man. It's a lot on her. Yeah, absolutely. Not only as a woman, but as a wife. The only reason it's different for the wife versus the husband, she will get sympathy and will be embraced. She didn't do anything wrong, but she's still going to carry that pain and burden because of him. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's more of an internal thing. Like, it's embarrassing. It's public. It's so public. Agree, Risa. I say be honest if you're trying to figure it out. Don't get married and have kids. That's true. Charles, when I hear this kind of stuff, it makes me so mad. Stacy, I agree. Figure out your sexuality before entering into relationships. Be honest with yourself. That's, it takes some people a long time. Correct, I agree. Also, this is a generational thing within our community. The older generations couldn't live in their truth due to society. Nowadays, it's more accepting and far more are living in their truth. I agree. And I hope people look at him as an example. Look where he moved to. I wonder if how long he knew about his sexuality. Was it before or after his wife and kids? I think allegedly, but I feel like he knew a while. The way he was in that tape knocking, baby, he been around the block, up the street, on the highway, in the parking lot, across town. He was knocking, especially being raised in and participating in the church. That adds a whole nother level to it. Yes, it does. That's me. That's my thing with my TT. He will never find peace because he can't let go of his biblical beliefs that homosexuality is a sin. There is an internal conflict between his spirituality and his sexuality. That's hard. That's tough. That is tough. Those are two very competing forces, and they are competitive, baby. He's home now. We'll take care of him. Somebody. Him with the big old donkey. Rest of her life. Somebody, you funny. Yeah, so I mean, shout out to him for coming to grips with who he is as a person, but also shout out to his wife, his kids, who eventually grow up and see this kind of stuff online. Hopefully, they've had conversations. They're going through therapy because it's a sensitive subject. And I'm sure if he's going to be doing panels now talking about his situation, he can serve as maybe some support or some advice to guys who are going through this, because he's not alone. That's one thing I know he has to see. You're not alone. Like this is definitely not an alone situation. However, you just got to deal with it the right way. And he didn't wrap it up. Oh, Stacey sounded like she saw. I hope she doesn't allow this to impact her for the rest of her life. It has nothing to do with her. This is all his battle of sexuality. Hopefully she gets a therapist to work through this. You see, that's the kind of selfish, because it's now must be affecting his family. Kids are very forgiving, but his wife, not just pray it away like a bunch of the church does. She needs therapy to actively work through all of the side effects to this situation. Don't let it harm you for the rest of your life. I agree. Oh, fuck him. He in church preaching and getting it in. One message and getting it in at the same time. That's why I keep going back to. So while you're in the act of doing it, eventually you start to understand that outweighs your own values. But it's other factors at play. Like Charles said, your religious beliefs versus your sexual beliefs, and those are two competing forces. They are fighting each other, and everybody every day, you need to be doing something else and you doing something else, or, so, but to me, it just gave me, feel bad for me, and sort of wanted him to own that responsibility, from the guy leaking the phone. He recorded it. Well, what do you think was going to happen? You knew he was a content creator making income from that, So that's all I have for y'all on Hot Topics today. That's all I really wanted to cover. We talked about Wendy and her son, and I really hope, this too shall pass, and that they are having conversations. We talked about Bhad Bhabie, who's a little confused about what she want to look, where she going with things. She don't know if she want to be clown or human, animal, dog, shit, bottom of a shoe. She's giving everything in this picture. This is the old her, which I take the old her over this new woman. I take the old her any fucking day. This gives me regular, not pressed. We talked about Kenneth Petty and the confusion he has about suing New York State regarding his sex offender status. Not the status, not his requirements, the process. Now, mind you, since the process had been, slammed down on him, he had 10 years. 2015, it was up. Since 2015, he's been to court twice in New York State regarding this. He never brought the process up. Now you want to bring the process up? They looking at him like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I'm asking Nikki, what are we doing? I want an album release and I don't want no bullshit. So what are we doing? We talked about Megan. She's suing her label, head of the AMA. She wants, to be able to play some music from Traumazine. Specifically, I think her, but I don't know. But I was reading in the comments, it was Traumazine, the album. And I didn't know that album fell under their imprint. I thought she was producing new albums under an independent imprint, but she's still producing albums under the 1501 imprint. So we'll see what she does. But either here or there, she's going to perform, and then they'll come back Tuesday for a hearing. And allegedly, that's where they're supposed to hear both sides of it, arbitrate. But my thing is, what's there to arbitrate at that point? The filming is done. The show is done. The world knows. What, you're going to sue the broadcast station for some millions? Well, then that'll be on the broadcast station. Then it'll be less of a fight between Megan and 1501 at that point. Good move, Megan. And then we closed out on Pastor Dwayne Dawkins, him breaking his silence about bisexual, his sex tape scandal with his male sneaky link. And again, y'all can go back and play the statement, but for me, it was just lacking responsibility, accountability, and sort of how he would, what's some of the advice he would give to other men facing some of the same issues, given that he's a pastor. I think that adds a little bit more weight to it. Why that's something I was looking for. Like, as a pastor, what would you say to other men now that we know this about you? What would you say? I think some of them would love to hear that kind of advice and less of you were going to be suicidal. Well, we don't want other men thinking that they should take that route. What if they don't got kids? What if they actually go through with it? Right message, wrong message, maybe? So, yeah, I want to thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Wendy over it, baby. Wendy over everybody at this point. Wendy is like, listen, true, I don't care about who he is. I'm thinking about his family, ex-family. That's the first thing I went to. I'm always concerned about, so what does your family say? This has been a great live. Thank you, Risa, and thank you, News Crew. Thank y'all for being here. He needs something to do. Thank you, Miss Toby. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Replay gang, we see you. Hit that like. Yes, definitely got my eyes on y'all. Yes, it was. I'm so happy I could be here. I missed the live. Stacy, I'm glad you could be here too. Yes, are you ready? All right, y'all. I'm about to get out of here, get myself ready for work. Thank you. Thank you, Nalisa Stormy. Everyone have a great day. Y'all have a great day. Y'all get out there and have a good day and be positive, all that good shit. And eat something really good today. Like, today is a day where you have a really good meal. Cook something. Cook something real, real good. And shout out to Yuzi the chef. I was watching him make steak the other day. Well, maybe yesterday or the day before. It was on a replay. And baby, he put something on his steak. Y'all got to get over there and look at the video. It's a steak video. I'm going to share it on my community wall. This shit was looking delicious. So shout out to Yuzi, because I think that's what I want to do today. A steak, do some potatoes and stuff. But all right, crew. Until next time, which will probably be tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Until next time, it has been my pleasure. I enjoy it. Shout out to the replay crew. Shout out. Make sure you hit that like button. Give me some love. Get my video on the algorithm. Let other people see some of this stuff. And until next time, y'all. Deuces.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's start this show. King Roman News. Coming just for you, just for you. King Roman News. Coming just for you, just for you. 6:30 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News. King Roman News. Let's go. Let's start this show.